Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Hey guys, wherever you are on the planet, look, we got a different topic today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Now, a lot of people are expecting me to be like, oh, he's such a Sha'Carri Richardson hater. Are we supposed to kiss the feet of athletes that just be, smash talking? Trash talking other people? Nah, but I got some videos way back there. It's up to you to go out there and watch them. I got a whole portfolio of stuff. Now we're approaching 200 videos, and we got a couple of them, even where I said that she may have been able to win the Olympics. But things happen a little bit differently, some of which, some of my fears were there. Look, I'm an American. I love to see an American on top. Hey, now, like I said, I'm analyzing these athletes for different things. Now let's get in here. Y'all saw the topic. We talking about the potential of Sha'Carri Richardson, right? If she can properly time her peaking, because look, we gonna go into details about what she's done right, what she's done wrong, some other things right there. But for the people that can't handle this topic, look, I don't know, maybe you looking like that. I already know there's some people that's looking at this video like, oh my goodness, he's coming out with a Sha'Carri Richardson video every day, 2 a day. No, I come out maybe on average it's probably once every 3.5 weeks. Now I'm coming out with this because it's relevant to some things here. We want to talk about her speed, right? And what she's coming up. And actually, this has to be one of my favorite pictures of her, actually. I really enjoy this image right here. It's a very happy image. So, but yeah, let's get down and party, because we're about to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson and her speed, all right? We about to talk about those things. So you guys don't forget to kiss the diamond. That's our version of smashing the like button, subscribing, and commenting below. That's a combination of all of them. We kiss the diamond, we take in the wealth, we give it out, it comes back to us, okay? Oh yeah, and don't forget, one of our latest videos would be if Shelly-Ann fraser-pryce is a higher paid athlete, if she's an American or not. You go back to that video, it's going to be linked right here, right now, okay? Now, let's move on. Now, also in this, we have a video where it covers, is Brianna Williams slow? Like, there are a lot of people saying that she's slow. And somebody said, compared to Sha'Carri Richardson, she is slow. And I'm like, Brianna Williams is still under 20. And Sha'Carri Richardson is over. So we're going to have a video about the fastest teenagers or something like that. So just to put that in perspective. But let's go. Without further ado, you guys are going to be like this after this, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. Sha'Carri Richardson. Did you know that she's ranked number 3 in the world this year in the 100? You may forget that because some of her performances have been a little bit questionable, right? She hasn't been performing as of late. And there's another thing. People keep saying that weed or marijuana is a masking agent. If you're going to post that in the comment section below because you hate Sha'Carri Richardson that much, because it somehow goes through your veins that much, how about you exit yourself off this channel because it's not substantiated. And matter of fact, I'm going to ban you. I'll just block you from the channel. You might be able to still comment, but nobody will be able to see it. If you were going to do that, you could say, in my opinion, you can say that, right? And then I'm going to ask you for details, but you got to make it clear and say, your opinion, it's a masking agent. Because USADA, WADA, no studies are showing that marijuana or any of its components that I've seen are, and especially on their websites, they link to their own studies. They don't list it as a masking agent. There's a specific qualification. Maybe you're looking for a different word, but look, use some higher intelligence stuff, just like the people that came here and said, oh, Oregon is high altitude. Stop just repeating what people tell you and use some critical thinking for once, all right? Now, here we go. Here are times. Here's a PR. 1072. Great. Excellent. Excellent. Very, very quick time. Now, she was saying that, or implying that, you know, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce ran a 1063 because she's running these times early. And you know what? She was the one that threw that out there. That's great, actually, because it got people talking about these things. She was like, yo, this is why I'm doing it. Now, Elaine Thompson-Herah has done a season where she's done multiple 10-7s early, and she was running 10-7 earlier this season too. Just not a 10-7-2 at that time. I think it was a 10-7-4. But hey, you know what? She did that. That was great. Actually, it ruffled some people's feathers now. But when it comes to personalities, great. I like to see something like that, right? Now, here, she ran a 22 flat. Now, somebody commented on one of my older videos saying that Sha'Carri Richardson is faster than, or slower than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. At the time I made that video, you guys got to pay attention to when the videos are made. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce hadn't broken 22 seconds yet. Her PR was slower than 22 flat. And so you just got to keep the facts where the facts are. Listen into context. See when the video was created. I don't even think I should need to say that, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. So those are what we're looking at. Let's see her 60 indoor. So her 60 is, it could need some work. 7.20. Now, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson-Herah is a 6.98, if I'm not mistaken, off of memory right here. But it's definitely sub 7. She could use on that. Now, this is why her start is a little bit slow, but her top end speed and the rest of her race is a little bit better, and that she can catch athletes. The problem that she's going to run into is when she starts to face athletes that have high top end speed just like her, and then they get out on her, right? Because she just gets out slow. And just imagine if she has a bad start. We saw that at the USA Championships where she had a bad start. Now, let's look at her results here. Let's go back to 2019. Especially, this is the middle finger for all of you guys that are saying that she has, that what she smoked or whatever was a masking agent. If it were a masking agent, then why is it that, you know, she got tested for the U20 championships and she ran, or U20 record, and she ran a 10.75. How you gonna say, oh, she can only run 10.7? That means you're directly implying that other athletes must have to use some performance enhancers in order to do it. You don't even know. You're unwittingly say that, because to a person on the outside not familiar with track and field, when they hear you say that dumb, idiotic, low-level version of thinking, right? Just low-level version of conversation, and it doesn't, and you're not using any critical reasoning skills. I can understand some of the audience here, they may not be familiar with that. But I'm just letting you know, those people that are spreading this and repeating this dumb stuff, they are not substantiated at all, right? They're not substantiated at all. Now, I know some of y'all gonna be like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah, I know. Just chill out for a second. Look. Now, here's her 10.75. She's shown multiple times now that she's been able to break 10.7s or 10.8, right? So she ran that 10.75. That at the time, or that is the U20, right? You got the U20 record. And then she also had the U20 record in the 200. Here it is right here. If I'm not mistaken, that was a U20 record. Now Mboma has that and everything like that. But how you gonna take away from how fast this woman is? Like, okay, we have called her Forrest Gump and everything. That was because of how slow she ran. I took that off of Forrest Gump running slow and running so long. But that's because that's flaming her for all the trash talk that she did. Now, I said I don't do unnecessary stuff. Here we go back to where it is. Sha'Carri Richardson is a fast athlete. I like to see her go fast. I like to see her win, if anything. I like to see somebody back up what they do. I don't like when somebody trash talk and then they can't back it up. Like, come on now. At least do better than what you've done. But here's another season where she didn't do too well, right? Here's Prefontaine. She finished 4th. She did 11.15. Okay, cool. Running against the headwind, 11.41. Okay, cool. She's running against these headwinds here at Drake. And she's not running too hot. Those obviously running against massive headwinds. But clearly, even in the final here, she's not doing too well because she only had a slight extra headwind and she's running massively slower than what she did in the semifinals. So she wasn't able to keep her speed endurance or whatever it was. Her body was breaking down. Listen to the interview after that. She said, hey, look, either there or Prefontaine, she's like, hey, you know, when you want to run fast, but you can't because your body's not allowing you, your body breaks down. That's what she was saying. So we've seen more than one season where she's not able to hold her form, right? We've seen more than one season. So let's go back. We have to look at consistency. Her consistency is whether it's NCAA or whether it's now that she's done it outside of here, now she is looking to, she's shown us 2 points. 3 seasons, that's a pattern. 1 is a coincidence, 2 is a point because you connect the lines, that's 2-dimensional. Then 3, 3D, a shape, that becomes a pattern. 3 is a pattern. She hasn't yet shown us a pattern, but it's a potential pattern right here. Now you see her times are wiped away on here, but they did not get wiped away on USATF as of yet. USATF does its own differences of different things, like they didn't wipe away Brianna Williams' time and everything like that. Now she opened up the season with an 11 flat. Nice. All right. Her very next race, the same meet, right? So that was a heat. This is the final. She ran a 10.72. That became her PR. Wind legal. Obviously, she ran a 10.63. It's not legal anymore, as it shouldn't be, right? Now, and she was easing up. I would say that she's likely a 10.6 athlete because she ran this 10.77. I thought this might have been one of her better races during the year. Wait a minute, actually, where was one of her better races, if I can remember offhand? It was like a semifinal where she eased up. Actually, this 10.77 against this headwind right here was a very good time. But it was one of her times where she eased up and then she still ran a 10.7. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she probably would have had that. Oh, it was this meet. She had the wind to her back. This was the semi to the final. And unfortunately, she had the wind to her. But she eased up. I think she could have broke and ran a 10.68, 10.67 at the time from what I've seen from her. Now, how fast can she run? After giving all of this, how fast can she run when she has run an 11.14? We know what happened at Prefontaine. She's run an 11.19. Now, this is against a headwind, remember? And people are so focused on her losing because they hate her so much because of some of the trash talk that she's done, right? And they don't see that, yo, she ran against a 1.0 headwind, right? Yeah, sure. She likely still wouldn't have broken 11 seconds. I don't think she would have broken 11 seconds here. But she still ran there. That means her performance was better than her Prefontaine one. She finished second, a statistical tie almost with Javian Oliver. But she actually did not do an embarrassing performance, right? A lot of you guys focus on her doing bad. Now let's look at her 200 here. Now her 200 was not looking too good right after either, right? She came here at Brussels, ran a 22.45. That was after she came off of being temporarily suspended. Okay, 22.45. That actually isn't as bad as her 100 was. Her 100 performance was much worse, and it was very embarrassing, right? She got roasted, rightly so, by so many across the board. Some people were being more soft glove with her. Sha'Carri Richardson actually said, hey, look, you made it seem like you were going to run a fast time. You let everybody down. That was her version of saying, yo, what happened? And she said it multiple times. Now, how fast can this woman run? How fast can Sha'Carri Richardson run? Well, let me bring you up some stats here. I could bring up the Americans, but once again, let me bring you up to, is Brianna Williams slow, right? This video right here, the title is Brianna Williams 2 in brackets slow, right? So that's the title. You look for that. There's a very recent video. I'm actually probably going to link that here at the end of this video too. And it's in the end card that you see here with the exclamation point. But in there, I already listed Jamaican athletes. It's going to ring true, roughly true to American athletes too. Typically, they're peaking between the years of about 23 to 25. What age is she right now? 21 years old. That means she can still get faster. Now, this doesn't guarantee that she's going to get faster, as we know some prodigies here. Remember the U20 world record holder, or the former U20 world record holder at the 100, right? Now, or she's the U18 best. Remember Hill? She's now coming back after injury, but it's going to take her a lot of work for Hill to come back. Now, I do commend her for still training and working through her injury and coming back, but that takes a lot out of you. If Sha'Carri Richardson gets injured, that might, boom, change her complete trajectory, because not all athletes come back. But let's look at references here. Now, remember, Sharon Stewart, it took her until she turned 21 to break 11 seconds, and she ran a 10.97, right? Her personal best wound up being 22 years old at a 10.82. Now, this isn't talking about, oh, Sha'Carri Richardson is better than all these athletes. Hey, look, they got medals. They winded up making relay teams, and they did their stuff while they were running and still competing, right? So this isn't all about that. Just take it as it is about the times. This was the research. I'm just shortcutting at you for the Brianna Williams one, because I got the data in front of me. This is the easiest thing to do. Now, it took Veronica Campbell-Brown until she turned 22 to break 11 seconds, and she ran a 10.91. Let's put Sha'Carri Richardson on the screen so that we could talk about this. This is the party time right here. Now, what winded up being her personal best? Well, she winded up running a 10.76 at 29 years old. A 10.76 at 29 years old. That was in 2011. Now, her personal best in the 200, it took her to break 22 seconds, 26 years old, 21.74. And we know she got her some medals in the 100 and 200. That's Veronica Campbell-Brown. Now, let's look here. You see this? I does my research. I got my paper. You hear it right there. I'm flipping it over. Now, we got Sharon Stewart. It took her until 24, 10.80. Her personal best was 10.75 at the age of 25. All right? Are we getting a theme here? Now, Elaine Thompson-Herah, right? Elaine Thompson-Herah, it took her until 23 to break 11, and she ran a 10.84. Now, obviously right now, she's still getting faster and faster and faster as a 29-year-old with her PR of 10.54. So, look, you could be late in the game and still do some of this. You want to talk about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce here, right? You want to talk about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce? Well, it looks like it took her until 21 to break 11. She ran a 10.78. Remember, that was enough to get her a gold in Beijing. And that was very memorable for a lot of people, including myself. And then now this year, the first year, she broke 22 seconds. And she's still running PR. She's 34 years old. Time can still work in your favor. She has a lot of potential for her. So with that being said, she's only 21 years old, right? She's only 21 years old. And I'm going to look at you people that are here. Other than the disparaging remarks that she's made, at least out of her times, don't be, going too overboard, right? A lot of people are saying, oh, if she's suspicious, she might be using that because they hate Gatlin and stuff so much. Depending on when this is posted, we probably got to post up here just an FYI to the members. But I'm not going to say that right now because I don't know when I'm posting it. So it might be out of context, like, what the heck? But you'll see it on the community post. Now here, what is her potential? Now, I think right now, had she timed her stuff, and if she didn't hold back, in all honesty, let's be honest. Let's be honest right here. She would have been a 10.6 athlete already. So I see that. Now, Gatlin is saying she's running 10.5s. We know Asafa Powell in his training runs in practice could have ran a 9.6, right? But he's never done that in a race, right? When legal anyway. He's never broken 9.7. So we can conclude that just because she can run a 10.5 in practice doesn't mean that she can do it. Now, hopefully, for me personally, I would like to see Sha'Carri Richardson do well. Now, That may surprise some of you all. I would like to see her do well because if she trash talk, I love to see me some trash talkers. I told you, I'm a trash talker myself when I'm winning. Now, I don't trash talk when I'm losing. I might trash talk right before, and then when I get my butt handed to me, I stop. I shut up until I can beat you. And then when I can beat you, all right, now we talking again, right? Now, here's the thing. If she can come up and get it, I think it's going to take her maybe 2 or 3 seasons before she gets into her stride. No pun intended. I can't see a pathway for her to get a medal next year unless, other people aren't in their form. And then there are always other athletes that are coming up. Just because she got a fast time doesn't mean that she can do it at the right time. And so those are 2 things that we're coming into play. Remember this. Remember the title here. How fast can she get if properly timed? That means, can she time it well to do it at the championships, or roughly her best time? Because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce didn't always do her best time at the championships, but she knew how to win, right? So what can she do? I think she can run a 1065 to a 1063. That's where I see her at with the right wind conditions and a running and in good form. Now, what can she do if properly timed? If she's not properly timed a little bit, I think if she runs it in a one-off race, because look, the pattern that she's showing us so far, or the points that she's showing us so far, is that she may not be able to hold her time later in the season. So something's got to go on, that either they got to time their training regimen for her slightly different. Let's time it literally different by a month, but then that puts her at risk of not making the USA team because it's so hard, right? But because she's running so fast so early, she could be off by a month and still be fast enough to qualify, because doing a 10-7 something would still qualify for the Jamaican squad. It's not like it's impossible to qualify. She's good to make a 10-7, right? So she could make the team for USA, come through at the World Championships, which is also hosted in Oregon, which she actually does really bad on Oregon's track. If you guys notice, Prefontaine twice, the USA trials, right? Because of the whole debacle of marijuana debacle. She doesn't have a good history. That's a pattern right now. She's done multiple meets on Oregon, and they ain't her best ones. So she's running against statistical fact against her for this. So that's why I said next year is not going to be looking pretty unless she can break the pattern that she's established so far this year and her previous seasons. Anybody disagree with this so far? Leave it in the comment section below. Anyway, look, Sha'Carri Richardson, like I said, 1063. I think she's a 21-7 high, 21-8 low athlete. And if she can bust, because I think she's weaker in her speed endurance. She may look like she's stronger, but because she breaks down, that's telling me that her body's not that good in keeping her form. So that's telling me that she's got to be lacking in her speed endurance. Her 200 is going to be her weaker event. Her 100 is going to be much stronger. Some athletes are better in the 200, like Dina Asher-Smith. That appears to be her quote-unquote better, but she's actually, I think, a little bit better in the 100. But it looks like her 200 is better, right? Because she can run it so well. She wins a little bit more often in that. But I think her time-wise is better in the 100 than the 200. But her weaker event is in the 200. She's going to be working against that. I think she can run a 21-7 high, 21-8 low if I were to look at her based on here. Now, what is she going to run in the future? I think she's good to actually break into 10-5s. If I'm being honest, she could break into 10-5s. Because if she's showing the signs now and she can actually improve her start a little bit, which is a lot easier said than done. It's going to take her multiple seasons. This is not something you go and then do that. She's been working on it since high school. So if she's been working on her start and her start's been that bad since high school, what can she do? She's going to have to rely on, that's kind of like luck. Things got to go right at the right time in the right place. If it happens at the championship, wow, that's going to be crazy, right? That's going to be crazy. To combine a decent start. A decent start for her is a good start. We're not going to see her have a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce start. But we can see her a bad Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce start where she doesn't slip. That's like what her decent start is. Right? Her decent start is a bad Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Her decent start is an okay Elaine Thompson-Herah start. Right? That's what we're going to see Sha'Carri Richardson's upper ability yet. So I see her, she can get into the 10.5s. I can see her getting into the 21.6, 21.5 range. I don't want to say she can get into the 10.4s because that's just going into to that la territory. That's too easy to say. That's too easy for me to say. I can say anybody can do that. That's young, right? And that shows good potential. That's too easy to say. We don't have enough data to say that. I can see her as a 10.6 athlete, and if she improves a little bit, she could do 10.5. But do you guys know how hard it is to break 10.5, right? It's going to be a little bit challenging. I can only say what I can probably see her for the next few years. And if she's one of those athletes that peaks at 23 to 25, and then she doesn't get any faster, right? I can see her in that range. Well, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with me in the comment section below. This has been the video on Sha'Carri Richardson. Hopefully people take that in a good mindset. Regardless of how you feel about her, we looking at her with the times, right? We looking at her with the times. Like I said, I personally would like to see her start winning, because if she trash talk, oh yeah, we could be best friends if you win it. We'd be best friends. Now, some of y'all, for the viewers, are going to be surprised. We can be best friends, and y'all going to be like, wait a minute, she trash talking to Jamaica. Look, I love trash talking. I love Carl Lewis for his trash talking, and some of y'all hate him. Hey, he delivered on his trash talking. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. So you've been watching the Head and Shoulders ATR production, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Don't forget to smash that like button by kissing the diamond. Subscribe, comment, and most importantly, share. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.